Hello beautiful people, and thank you for joining us today. Today is another beautiful opportunity to pursue a joyful and purpose-driven life. For those of you who are not familiar, my name is Lydia, and it is my endeavor to share those things that I have learned through experience that have added value to my life. If you are someone who seeks every day to not compare yourself to those around you, but to be better than you were yesterday, then you've come to the right place. Based on my personal learning style, the way that I retain information and solidify these thoughts and ideas in my own mind is by sharing them with other people. So this is a wonderful avenue and a beautiful opportunity for me to get to do that with a greater audience. It doesn't matter to me who or how many, but I know that there is a divine order to all things. And today, I'm grateful for you. Thank you for taking the chance and taking the time to watch today. I hope that something that I share will be something that you can apply in your own life and find value in it. So without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. We have all heard it said that we are each defined by our actions, that, in essence, we are the sum of our actions. So, if there is something that we would like to change, then how do we begin to change that? It begins with habit. And with these things in mind, today I would like to share what I've learned about habit stacking. So, you might say, I'm familiar with what a habit is, Lyd, but habit stacking, that sounds analogous to Legos. And it is, indeed. So habit stacking is the stacking of individual habits to either compose a chain, and these chains can eventually become a routine. And when we implement these routines in our day-to-day lives, we can change what our lives look like dramatically. We understand that forming a new habit takes a period of time. Creating a new habit can, based on the general rule, take anywhere from 21 to 30 days. But my challenge to you today would be to begin today, because the small decisions that we make every day aggregate. And if you have some routine in your mind of something that would be beneficial to your mental well-being, to your physical well-being, or even to your spiritual well-being, those things become easier whenever we approach them with a chunking technique in mind. Understanding that revolutionary change is not going to happen today, but we can start today. And that, my friends, is the beauty of habit stacking. It can take many forms. We'll start with an example. Let's provide the example of incorporating more physical movement into our day-to-day routine. So we begin small. We challenge ourselves to complete 10 squats every time we take a trip to the restroom. We begin in the morning, we take our trip to the restroom, we complete our 10 squats. And after a period of time, after solidifying that neural pathway in our mind, it will become habit to us. It will come without a second thought. We'll go to the restroom. There will already be this existing association with making a trip to the restroom and completing 10 squats. And over a period of time, we will move closer and closer to our goal and our conceived idea of incorporating more physical movement into our day-to-day routine. Let's say in the morning, you take your trip to the restroom, you complete your 10 squats, and you feel that you've solidified this habit in your routine. And you say, I'd really like to incorporate some more mobility exercises. So let's say that that's something that you begin to do in the morning. You begin by taking your trip to the restroom. Your brain is already preconditioned to associate taking a trip to the restroom with 10 squats. So you knock out your 10 squats. And then you start by inputting this thought into your mind that after completing your 10 squats, then you can go do a 10-minute stretching and flexibility routine. At this point, you see the pattern that we are creating. If we begin by saying, there are certain things that we do in our day that come without a second thought, I would challenge you to list 3 of those. Again, always begin small. List 3 things that come without a second thought that you do in your day to day. Consider the goals that you have in your life and consider the things that you could add to the chain of events. Now, to give you some inspiration, in today's video, we will be discussing the different things that I have come to solidify in the form of habit stacking. Another habit that has added value to my life is something that I attend to both in the morning and in the evening. And I think it's important that we take the time each morning, each evening to recalibrate and consider what our priorities are in life and those things that are important to us. So I take it upon myself to make my heart happy in the Lord. The Bible tells us that early in the morning will I seek thee. And thus, every morning, I make it a point to listen to a sermon as I'm getting ready. For me, it's as easy as finding a sermon from my church that is posted on YouTube, or by searching for different pastors that I enjoy. At the end of the day, as part of my evening routine, I make it a point to do a devotional. A devotional could be scripture study of any kind. It can be reading a devotional book. It could be reading any other spiritually related book. One of the books that I've been reading recently was actually something that was authored by my pastor. And there's also the option of reading scriptures and really diving deep into the significance of the passage and what's going on. There are some days that I do my devotional by myself, but there are some days when I have the privilege and opportunity to have a phone call with my loving boyfriend. Then we make it a point to study the scriptures together. And I would challenge you, if there's anyone in your life, whether it be a close friend or a family member or a loved one, that you can spend this time with them and use this time as a way to develop your relationship, then I think that that is a splendid idea. And by doing so, you are taking the time to stack yet another habit that you might want to incorporate of intentionally cultivating personal relationships. Let's talk about another habit that has added value to my life. So something else that I have incorporated into my daily routine involves something that hopefully everyone does at least twice a day, and that would be brushing your teeth. So every morning I wake up, I get my toothbrush ready. Generally, I would use my phone, but in this scenario, I have some tangible flashcards that I'm going to be using as an example. And these flashcards are something that I'm using to increase and maintain proficiency in my target language. So whether you're learning a language or you're in school, using this time to flip through flashcards is making the best use of the time. So I got my flashcards, got my toothbrush, and today I would challenge you to think about something that you could stack. Is there something that you might be interested in incorporating into the time in which you brush your teeth? Or perhaps you could brush your teeth and then complete some task or action thereafter. So these are all different ideas to get your brain stirring. As we discussed, there are certain things that we do every day by default that we don't put much thought into, that just sort of happen. But I would challenge you to ask yourself, how are you taking advantage of these opportunities? Whether they be walking from one place to another, whether it be from your car to the store, or your car to your job, or it could even be getting into the elevator. Have you ever stopped to consider that these periods of time, these moments, could be used for something? So, as an example, every day I walk into work, and I probably have a good 10-15 minute walk into work, and something that I have found to add value to my life is that there was a habit that I wanted to incorporate, and that habit being quoting and memorizing more scripture. So I made it a habit that every day as I was walking into work, I would quote the verses that I was working on for the week. 10 to 15 minutes is plenty of time to implement a new habit loop. Usually these verses would be something that stood out to me either in my devotionals throughout the week, or it would be something that stood out to me from service on Sundays. So I would make a note of that, I would write it down on a sticky note, and I stick it in my bathroom so that as I am getting ready in the morning, I make the effort to read it through at least once, so that by the time I'm making my way into work for the day, I have time and opportunity to reinforce that habit loop and those words that were so significant to me. Immerse yourself in the promises of God. That is such a fantastic way to start your day, with confidence, with faith, and with the realization that we are more than conquerors with Christ. So, on my bathroom wall, right next to my sink, is where I keep the verses that I'm studying currently, and then I also have the verses that I was studying previously. So for reference, Psalm 63, 1 through 3, and 2 Corinthians 6, 17, 18, and 2 Corinthians 7, 1. Let's talk about one more habit that I have incorporated into my daily routine that has added countless value to my life. This habit would be the habit of self-reflection. So self-reflection is something that you can obviously practice at any time, but I think if we are intentional, it is more likely that we will participate in these habits. So for me, typically at the end of a workday, as I'm walking out of work, something that I enjoy doing is examining my activities throughout the day, how I was able to be of service to another person, if I was able to make someone smile, what different tasks was I able to accomplish throughout the day, and how well did I manage my time. And that would be specific to anyone in any type of work. Another time that I intentionally set aside for reflection is in the evening. So as I am crawling into bed and I'm pulling on my eye mask, something that I enjoy doing is reflecting on the activities throughout the entire day, from the time that I woke up to the time that I am laying down. And I've heard it described to be a practice in which you can imagine your life as if you were watching a movie. Imagine yourself to be an actor in this movie, and watch yourself as you complete your day-to-day tasks, and consider if you are in alignment with the purpose that you have defined for yourself, if the things that you are taking the time to do are fulfilling your soul. And if they're not, then maybe that's something that you could consider doing away with, or rather incorporating something else that would be of value to your life. I don't want you guys to think that I've got it figured all out, because obviously if you're paying any close attention, I am a human being just like the rest of us. And these habits are just something that I have found that have added structure, that have added value. The goal is not to be perfect. And the goal is not to be superhuman level efficient in any regard, but it is to make an effort to align our actions with the values that we have defined in our life. Thank you so much for taking the chance and watching this video today, and I hope that this video is something that can cause you to reflect and to examine your own values, your own aspirations, your dreams, and your goals, and consider the different ways that you can hack your life, for lack of a better word, because there is no one answer, but it all begins with a simple awareness of where we are and the things that we would like to accomplish. So I would challenge you to start small, but to appreciate the privilege that we have, and I encourage you to take advantage of every opportunity and appreciate every moment for what it brings, and allow each moment to be a lesson, because it can be. It's all about your mind frame. Until next time, thanks for watching. 再见. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see more lifestyle focused content, then feel free to subscribe. Have a beautiful day.